Americans for Limited Government has posted a petition on whitehouse.gov, which essentially calls China an existential threat to freedom and urges the president to take action, letting him know that Americans will have his back as he takes action to hold China accountable for what they did with this virus. Now, let's just review. China knew in December, at least in December, that the virus was communicable from human to human. Yet they and their World Health Organization sycophants lied about that, changing entirely how the world viewed this virus. At the same time, China shut down travel from the Hubei province, which is where Wuhan is, shut down travel between Chinese provinces and Wuhan, not allowing people from Wuhan to travel to Beijing or Shanghai or elsewhere. Yet, they allow those same people to travel around the world to the capitals all over the world, spreading this virus. They weren't willing to expose their own leaders, their own people across their country to this virus, yet they were willing to expose the rest of the world to it, all the while lying that it wasn't transmissible by human contact. So clearly the Chinese are culpable. Secondly, the Chinese sat there and continued. They even did ads in Italy saying that it was okay and don't worry about it, and it's racist to not accept the Chinese people who are traveling to Italy for business. And that's why you have such a massive outbreak in northern Italy. It was a direct result of China's determination to hide the truth about this virus from the world. Now, China is either, and we've gone into more on this in a letter that is linked from the whitehouse.gov's website, that's also on the American for Limited Government website, getliberty.org. But you know what, folks? China is culpable, and they need to be held accountable. Whether this was incompetence or deliberate doesn't matter. What matters is they need to be held accountable. The Chinese have been doing a number of things in this country that we've been giving them carte blanche. They've invaded our academic systems through some things called the Confucius Institutes, where they are essentially using those as a means to recruit spies and to steal intellectual properties from our university research centers, which are the finest in the world, by the way. And those need to be shut down. Department of Education needs to shut those down now. Second, the American people and the world demand accountability, and we need to have independent accountability teams on the ground in China, getting to the bottom of what they did, who knew what, and when they knew it, so this can never happen again. At the very least, it could be a how-to manual on what not to do when the next virus comes out. So the world needs to know. And three, and this is equally important, we have to separate out our financial systems from the Chinese, and also our pharmaceutical dependency from the Chinese. The president took great steps this past week where he moved forward with trying to stop the investment of U.S. pension funds, U.S. federal government pension funds, into Chinese equities, which would have put those pension funds at risk as China manipulated the markets. He also is moving forward to try to disengage our pharmaceutical industry from Chinese dependence, because we can't have our medical devices that we need and our pharmaceuticals that we need being held up by a government that's irresponsible and has proven in this crisis that they are willing to stop the shipment of those needed pharmaceuticals, of those needed equipment to the United States or to the rest of the world, because they happen to be where it's manufactured. That can't be allowed to continue. So go to the petition. You can find it at the link below this video, or you can go to getliberty.org, and there's a big button on getliberty.org. Push the button, sign the petition, and let's tell the president that we have his back as he moves forward to hold the Chinese accountable for their malfeasance in dealing with this virus, putting each and every one of us at risk.